Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here with an update on the Not So Resilient Jenkins. We must do this update because Steph has come out with a video that I had many thoughts about. So as always, I'm here to share them. And this will be on the playlist of the Resilient Jenkins. So if you're unaware or unsure as to why this family is going viral and why so many people are covering them, you can check the playlist if you're interested. It's there for your, I don't want to say viewing pleasure, because this is a catastrophe that we are watching happen in real time. But either way, we have an update. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so Steph has put out a video where she is sharing some of their future plans as a family. She says that she wants to build a tiny home and everyone will have their own space in this tiny home. As a reminder, they are two adults. In my opinion, that's capacity of your tiny home plans, but you also have way too many children. How on earth are your children going to fit into a tiny home with two adults and have their own space and have their own privacy? That's a mystery I will never understand, but she said that that is her plan. And of course I will insert the video for context. You're so far away from reality that you are sitting in a homeless shelter that was formerly a motel and telling social media that you want to build a tiny home when you couldn't even pay your rent to avoid eviction. Now, I want to add in a little side thought about tiny homes, because I know that tiny homes, especially over the last 5 to 8 years, have really been all the rage. They're very popular. I'm a fan of tiny homes, but I also don't have children that need to fit in the tiny home with me. So it's like time and place. Like, what's the time and place and what's the purpose and how many people are living with you? Most logical adults don't think, I have all of these children, let's build a tiny home. Most people, and I kind of hate using most people because it's like, well, what is most people? But for the most part, from what I've seen personally, those living in a tiny home, they're usually either a single person or a couple that does not have children, and that's what they've decided, is good for them. They have minimal belongings and the tiny home fits what they need. In this video, as y'all will see, she makes Drew give her a hug for TikTok. I can only imagine how this conversation went. Okay, I'm gonna do this video and I need you to come up behind me, maybe 15 seconds after I say my little spiel, and give me a hug and let's hold it for a couple of minutes, because people know that you are anti-W2 Drew and sitting on your ass all day is getting annoying. So come on in here and give me a big ol' hug. Also in that video, on top of her children still being in the same clothes, endless amount of days now, literally we are going on 2 weeks. These children, specifically Drew's son, is in the same outfit. Why are these children wearing the same clothes for going on 10, 11 days now? That is simply unacceptable, especially knowing that y'all have money. You recently went to Target and did a shopping spree. Why did you not buy these kids new clothing? Why are they still in the same clothes? They were in the same clothes when y'all moved out, when you went to the first motel, and now you're in the shelter. And I specifically noticed Drew's son is still wearing the same outfit. That makes me so sad for this child. On top of these children being in the same clothes, I also noticed that she is having her newborn child sleep in the car seat. And this is where I really want to lean on y'all for your opinions and perspective on this. What I have seen is newborns should not be sleeping in the car seat. Unless that's a really short-term thing, the car seat should not be used as a bed for your baby. So sound off down below. How do y'all feel about all of that? And in the video that she posted, I want y'all to really take note of just how many people are crammed into this small space with food, electronics, children running around, people cooking, hot plates. It's just such a chaotic environment. And knowing that Steph had the option to be a halfway decent mother and take up her mother's offer to house her and her children, just knowing that she avoided that and then went on to basically drag her mother across the internet with a bunch of, in my opinion, made up allegations is just so tragic. I'm gonna also throw in some of the comments from this video before she can delete them, and y'all can pause to read those as well.
This is exactly why I said I always remain grateful for whatever situation I'm in. I try to find the positivity no matter what, because the situation can always get worse. I have to excuse the fan in the background. I'm in the bathroom in the motel, and please excuse the lack of voice that I have because we're fighting something. We all woke up with some kind of cough this morning, and I think that's just our bodies trying to adjust from the new environment and going back and forth. But let me get back to it. A little over a week ago today, I had a dishwasher that was somewhat working. I had a kitchen sink, I had a stove, I had a kitchen. Yeah, it was small, but it was more than what we're working with now. And a lot of you wanted to put down that situation that we were living in. I mean, albeit it was definitely not ideal for our size of a family we have now, but there was a lot of positivity about it too. And I think that's just because we had really spent the time to make that situation work for our family. While we were packing up the U-Haul, Drew and I noticed we really
You guys, now they're using a freaking air fryer in the room.
really did have that place organized to fit for our family. Drew and I both really like the concept of a tiny home as long as it has well organization to it, but ideally said tiny home would be on a plot of land. Also, the tiny home that we envision has a space and a nook for everybody. Everybody's provided their own little private area. We still get to remain the close-knit family that we are. And that's just a little bit about our goals and how we try to stay positive in every situation we're in. Okay, bye-bye.
And even though they woke up with a bug, they're kissing the baby right on the mouth. The last thing I want to say about this is there was someone who left a comment on my last video about Steph and Drew, and they basically wrote a huge long paragraph, and they started it with, what do you expect them to do? Now, I had a few extra minutes in my day today, so I did respond to this person with a very short, not super detailed response. The issue that a lot of people are not understanding with Steph and Drew is this is not a couple that really is just down on their luck and they are struggling and they just so happen to have children that are along for the ride. These two went viral in October of 2024 on TikTok, made a ton of money, and then just a couple of short months later decided to not pay their rent, get evicted, dump their cats after starving them, and go to a motel where they broke the rules. They got kicked out, and now they're in this motel homeless shelter setup. If these were two adults that were really trying to get a job and trying to do better, and you know, they did pay their rent and something catastrophic happened, I would not be covering them, and I would damn sure not have an entire playlist detailing their abusive parenting. Honestly, shame on this woman, and I cannot believe this, but I'm gonna share it as an update.
I have some good news for all you resilient Jenkins haters out there. I have started a GoFundMe to help them and get into a place how they need to, whether it is paying a deposit, a first month's rent, maybe a last month's rent, whatever they need to do in order to get into a place. I have set up this GoFundMe. I messaged Stephanie letting her know about it. Whatever you guys think about them, you guys need to put it to the side and help this family if you can. They do have 5 kids, so whatever you think about them, that is not relevant to these children. The only thing that is relevant is that they need your help, that these children need your help, okay? So I am willing to help her out. I'm willing to go there and help her out, and I don't care what you haters say. I live about 4 hours away from them. I'm not actually in Oregon. I'm in Washington State. But I'm willing to go there and to help them do whatever they need help with. Whether she wants it, I don't know. But I'm willing to offer that. So you guys can think what you want, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to do what I'm going to do because I have a good heart.
So I have a bone to pick with a creator on here, and I'm going to call you out because I already went in your comments and sent something, and then I also messaged you, and then you blocked me from messaging you, and you saw my message. And I've already spoken to Arlita about this because we're cool, and she definitely feels the same way I do. But I need to let you know, sis, since you want to ignore me, that you're basically aiding somebody and continuing to be in contempt of court and not pay their child support by making that GoFundMe that you did for the Resilient Jenkins for them to get into housing. When this man, when the dad owes so much in child support, has been lying. He's been lying to the caseworker saying he's been working but just has refused to pay and hasn't paid their rent, nor has he paid his child support. But you took it upon yourself to make a GoFundMe to help continue to support people who make poor decisions and who are basically running from their adult responsibilities. And it's funny because you made this video after Arlita had already made her video explaining what's happening. Her video explaining that there's going to be a court date soon and that Drew's in contempt of court and they need to pay. And if they don't, there's going to be consequences. And if you don't know, contempt of court could lead to either jail or larger fines. So my thing is that GoFundMe that you decided to start, that either needs to be taken down because it's illegal at this point, because you're literally giving money to somebody that owes money to the government and Arlita, right? What you're doing, that's illegal funds. I will report it for that, and I'll have others report it for that because technically what you're doing is illegal. Or the funding that you do get from that GoFundMe goes to Arlita. So you can pick one. But what we're not going to do is continue to allow these people to not take accountability for their actions and not to be grown adults and stand on business and do what they need to do. They have options. Okay. Stephanie's mom has offered to take in the children and Stephanie. Okay. And then Drew's son's mother wants custody back of the son, and she has a place for him. So yeah, what we're not going to do is we're not going to do that, sweetie. So you have those options. So you choose what you want to do. I try to come to you and just tell you like privately, but since you don't want to like listen and you want to stand on your fucking moral high horse, this is what we're going to do. So let me know what you want to do, sis. Because if you don't make the right choice, I'm going to tell you right now that GoFundMe is coming down one way or another. Okay? What we're not going to do is support the continued just abuse of the system. And we're not going to support people that really know what the fuck is really going on. The fact that they know that they haven't been paying and continue to have children, continue to put children in this horrible conditions for their own selfish reasons. I'm pretty sure there's something going on outside of what we think it is, some rug use or something. So we're not going to support that. Okay? Let me know.
And the very last thing that I want to throw in here is I'm going to link a video down below, and it's called The Poorest Children in America. It's about 8 months old, so it's not super recent, but it's also not old or outdated, and it still really rings true. The things that these kids were saying in this documentary were so sad and tragic. When I watched that video, I thought of the kids in the Jenkins household, whatever that is. And it really confirms that these kids know what's happening. They know fear of not having a meal. They know fear of being bullied at school. They know fear of not having safe housing. They know fear of not sure what's going to happen next. I am so tired, and I've said this for a really long time. Adults treating children as if they are stupid or not aware of what's going on. Oh, these kids are little. They don't understand. They think that we're just living in a motel. It's a vacation. It's fun. These children understand far more than what these adults are giving them credit for. And I really hope that some sort of solution, no matter what that be, rescue these kids very soon, because it's a really heavy topic to cover. But how dare Steph Drew go so far out of their way to put their children in this shithole mess with them? Either way, that's what's going on, and that's the update for now. So if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.